Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Tuesday, the 21st of December, 2021. Just a couple days again for the end of 2021 in Trinidad and Tobago. But nevertheless, we're trying to scrape through. We're trying to make it through. 2021 has been a terrible year for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But nevertheless, viewers, we are live on Synergy Network. Real Talk Studios are located at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas. Real Talk group of companies. Now, they are also a licensed money lending financial institution. They are located at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas, with office at number 32 Sipera Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. 2 offices, viewers. So, you want to get a little Christmas loan. You want to make an investment. Now remember, the San Fernando branch is giving you 2.75% for the month of December. So you have a few days before the 2021 has ended to make your investment in the San Fernando branch to get 2.75%. So viewers, remember to share our live stream. We are on Facebook Live. You just have to go into your Facebook account. Type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali. When our page pops up, just like it and share it. For those of you who are on YouTube, a special good night to you. Also share our live stream on YouTube. So viewers, last night, Monday night, 20th, we had our Christmas show. I do want to thank every individual who have contributed towards the food drive, In January, we're going to continue our food drive. You can make a contribution also. We have the Range Rover up. Hopefully by the end of February, we will be drawing the Range Rover. Nobody does it like Saieed Ali. Nobody does it like Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So we are here for the people, and it's because of the people I make this investment on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. But nevertheless, viewers, share our live stream as we go live. Trinidad and Tobago has recorded its 5th case of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. The case comes from a patient who has no recent history of travel or known contact with another positive COVID-19 case. The ministry announced that there were 2 additional cases of the Omicron variant, while the 4th Omicron case recently returned to TNT from the United States. The 5th case had no recent travel history, no contact with any person who are positive for COVID-19, but the ministry states that per existing quarantine protocols, the person provided a negative PCR test, which was taken 72 hours prior to travel. They also added that as the result of their positive COVID-19 result, both patients were isolated contacts of the positive Omicron COVID-19 case have been quarantined. 2386716 is our phone number to call in, viewers. Caller, good night.
How are you?
I'm okay. Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Congratulate you quickly. 2 things. Number 1, you did a very good show last night. It was
thank
fantastic.
You. Thank you.
And I also want to say that in addition to that, I am so sorry for the children that are suffering who lost both parents during this COVID time.
Yes.
What really bothers me, I was doing some review and the Ministry of Social Development, if a relative take the children, they are not getting any grant, or they are not getting any assistance. The government actually, if you do some investigation side, it's very unfair. They're using a mean test $1,400 per household. If your income costs more than $1,400, you do not qualify. So why that should be? Both parents died. Isn't there some special consideration the permanent secretary or a committee should meet and say, listen, we have a 14-year-old or 11-year-old. Think of how many children this Christmas do even have a toy coming in under the tree. Last time when I saw that toy, I say, you're really reaching out to kids and, we need more people like you to come out. And I really hope that in some way, if a program, you know, you're doing the food drive, maybe you could reach some families, you know, you could put out something to tell families who lost relatives during this time and they are taking care of children because the grocery bill is so high.
Yes,
These are the people who probably need the hampers because the government is a total waste of time not doing anything. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend, for your contribution. Now, I do want to thank Mr. Rajiv Dipti. Like I said, last week Friday, we were supposed to draw the BMW. But, you know, being a businessman, you just be caught up with certain business. Sometimes you have to go to a meeting. You know, there's no way you could duck the meeting. But nevertheless, I do want to thank Mr. Rajiv Dipti. He is the president of the Supermarket Association. I want to thank him for making the time available to come to draw that ticket with that lucky person. And I also want to congratulate his wife for standing with him. You know, they are a hard-working team together. Whenever some medical problem wrong with me, whether I'm under the weather or sick or anything, you know, she's always there. And tonight, I just want to say a special good night to her tonight. The wife of the president of the Supermarket Association, Rajiv Dipti. You know, I don't want to mention her name too much, but I want to say a special good night to that couple. They have really supported me in any way possible. And Rajiv, he's an individual. Whenever I call on him, he is right here. Saeed, I am right here. Just let me know what you need to support the people, and I will make a contribution. So I just want to big them up tonight. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I will tell you something. The government was asking the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, corporate TNT, to support them in their drive to distribute devices to children. They're asking corporate TNT. No! $100 million went to Tobago for hotelers to paint up and brighten up. Like I said, I have nothing against the hotelers. Nothing. I am planning to open a hotel in Tobago. I have absolutely nothing against them. Nothing. But what I want to ask is, prior to 2020, were your business down? Were your business shut down? No. You see, I am a businessman in Trinidad, in Tobago, and of the Caribbean. I am a regional businessman. And this is why when I come here, I am brave enough to let them know when they are doing their crap. Not because you are a minister, you would want to tell me all kind of cock and bull story. No, hell no. You might fool some of the citizens, but you cannot fool Saeed. You can't do that. And that is why I have invested in this studio, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, to brighten up the individuals that do not have a high intellectual memory, or, you know, have the capacity to have a full education or a full knowledge. I speak in 6 different languages. I'm an accountant. I do real estate. I have my own show on TV. And now Real Talk Group of Companies have a money lending financial institution with 2 branches in Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas and 32 Victoria Village in San Fernando, Cipero Road. You can't come around me with no nonsense. I will not come here and say, hey, all I need to add in order to survive, to educate you all. Well, boy, let me tell you something. As a different breed, you know. As a different breed, you know. Go take your time when he was creating me, you know. When I started my program almost 4 years back, some individuals went after my son to try and break me. They tried to break me, but they didn't realize the individual that was coming after was a man who does do spiritual work. That's what they didn't know. They bounced their head on a steamroller. I don't need funding from nobody to run my show. The funding that I need is when I keep in a food drive. I want you to make a little contribution. No, they say when you give with your left hand, you will receive on your right hand. I gave with my left hand, I gave with my right foot, I gave with everything in me giving. And when I receiving, is my whole self receiving on the next side. That is why I could stand here today and say to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we have completed our 100, we crossed the 150. We crossed the 150. And I want to thank you so much for your contribution into making the food drive successful. Now I want to tell you something. There are a lot of citizens who need food. And our drive is going to continue for January and February. So what I want you to do, we have the Range Rover up for grabs still. It's there. A lucky person won the M3 Sport BMW. They contacted her today. And we have the Range Rover coming in February straight up. Look at the beautiful Range Rover. Now viewers, this Range Rover is the one just before the new model Range Rover we have in Trinidad. Just before that. I will tell you something. Moses was raised by Pharaoh in Egypt with all the wealth. But God had a plan for Moses when he reached of a certain age to go in the wilderness. Where God trained him in the wilderness and sent him back to Pharaoh. Who was Pharaoh? Pharaoh was the man who provided all the education, the wealth, the healthy living, the medical checkups. For who? For Moses. For Moses. You see, with me is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You burn my skin. Oh, good. Well, there's a different story, you know. You burn my skin. You'll get burned down, you know. Take what I'm telling you. I ain't talking no violence talk, you know. But I'll let you know, don't come after me. I am not one of those normal individuals that walk the street. No, I am a man that God has selected to do spiritual work for human being. For human being. I just deal with all kind of people. So when you tell yourself, when these leaders tell themselves, well, Saieed is a Trinidadian, he know nothing. He don't deal with outsiders. Let me tell you something. It's outsiders I just deal with. Ministers and lawyers and magistrates and doctors from outside of Trinidad and Tobago. So don't get tied up with me. Don't get tied up with me. So staying on that level now, I just want to say a special good night to the consulate who represent Trinidad and Tobago in Grenada. I just want to big him up tonight. He's a great gentleman. You know, a couple of weeks back, we were having the, we were supposed to have an interview with the Grenadian Prime Minister. But nevertheless, in January, we will try to facilitate him. I also have some, how to say it, boy, some activists from Barbados who would love to be on our show. Come January, we'll talk. We're doing something different. Call a good night.
Good night, Saieed, and all the listeners. This is the imitation vaccine we run.
Welcome, my friend.
Patient number 5. Omicron patient number 5. How come they say it had no community spread? Where got or she got the virus from it? Or from the sky?
Correct.
Or it fall from the 737 they buy and pack up it at Caribbean Islands?
Correct.
You understand how stupid these people are? You have to get
foolish.
Somewhere. No, the thing is, I want to link this. The Prime Minister on Saturday had a chat with police, with the regiment, with this and that, and he identified 70%. How much Venezuelans inside here? How much of them get vaccinated? Remember the Brazilian variant came from a Venezuelan and they was hiding it, Terrorist was hiding it when they asked the question. So that is a statistics the original imitation vaccine bringer had to tell us. The other thing I want to big up, you know who I want to big up? But I want to give him some advice. You know, you ever hear about the mannequin man? I hear he's going protest in front of the Prime Minister's office. And this is the advice I want to give him. I want him walk with a mannequin of the vaccine vagrant. I want him walk with a needle to jab. And I want him to demonstrate where he should put that jab on the vaccine vagrant. Remember the vaccine vagrant said a famous word. He will put the nuts where the monkey wants to hide it. Right there is I want the vaccine vagrant to get it jab. so the whole country will know what we think about the vaccine requirement.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, there's lots more in store. We're right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali. Consultant and real estate businessman.
Can't watch Real Talk on TV? Have no fear. You can also watch Real Talk on the go live on YouTube and Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali on YouTube.com and TT Real Talk on Facebook.com. Don't forget to like us and share us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Now I'm going to tell you something. Tonight is Fire Friday, you know. It's a different fire tonight. The ministry, Terrence Singh, wants to stop Omicron variant from coming into Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is thinking about making it mandatory. They want to stop the Omicron. But listen this, Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. We are not no dancey head people, and I want to let you understand that. You have a right to exercise. Here it is. TNT has removed with immediate effect travel restrictions from 8 African nations. Travel restrictions were put in place on November 26 by the Ministry of Health in an attempt to stop the spread of the Omicron variant. You hear that? To stop the spread. This came in effect on November 26. Travelers from Botswana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe will no longer be denied entry to TNT. The Omicron variant has been reported in 89 countries, causing several nations to announce lockdown and case rises. Nationals will also no longer be required to enter mandatory state supervision quarantine if travel originated from any of those 8 countries. The Minister of Health, or we will say the Ministry of Health, says all other countries' requirements remain, including a negative RT-PCR test taken 72 hours prior travel to TNT. In the United States, they wanted a couple hours before you travel into the United States. Terrence Singh wants to stop Omicron variant, but lift the ban from 8 African nations so they could come to Trinidad and Tobago. And you want to tell me, Singh, you care about the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Your Prime Minister wants to make it mandatory for public servants while you have other nationals coming into Trinidad and Tobago with a PCR but want to make it mandatory for us? Terrence, go back in your hole and sleep. I don't care if you are the president. I don't care if you are the Prime Minister. I do business who the hell you are. I am waiting on the Davis Home report. Why don't you bring out that? Why don't you bring it out? Show the citizens them that, hey, I am the minister. I could bring it out. Why you don't do that? Why you as the minister don't come out and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago how many patients took the COVID-19 vaccine, 2 doses, and died? How many of you are aware that even though you're vaccinated, you could get the COVID-19 and you could die? But you know what they're saying? Comorbidities. Comorbidities. I have a barber with no comorbidities problem, took the vaccine, and the man cannot stand on his left leg. All I feel is joke? All I feel is joke? Why do you think I get all so stinky here tonight? Because they are not feeding the nation the truth. But we have the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago wants the public sector to make it mandatory. If you don't take the vaccine, not a problem, you have no money to get. What the hell is that? Where is the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago? Where is the PNM people? How come all you're saying great is the PNM? You know why all they won't say? Because all that damn job at stake now. That is the same Prime Minister who stood up in a briefing and said, I am not going to beg for a vaccine. How will you feel? All you feel safe? All you feel nice? All you feel the honey in all your mouth? Oh, Saieed, you're bashing the minister. For a bloody hell minister, you're not supposed to use statement like that. For a bloody hell minister, you're supposed to be a caring person for the citizen of your country. Why? Because the citizen put you there. And you want to tell me you ain't begging for no vaccine? But let me tell you something. In some other country, they done burn down the country. In Australia, they raised gas 10 cents. What happened? They nearly burned down. And all you want now, Saieed, to take it nice and easy, and don't tell Clarence nothing, and don't tell Terry nothing, and don't tell the Prime Minister nothing. Up to now, the President of Trinidad and Tobago ain't even keep a media briefing as to tell the citizens why they retracted the list. I'll talk now. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to know what's wrong with the PNM and Parasol Rally. They're doing the same thing that the UNC. They're bullying people. They want Watson Duke to leave. After he leaves, they're going to go after somebody else. The same thing they did with the UNC. They get rid of Anna Roberts. They tell Cameron to get rid of Anna Roberts. To get rid of Ben Rabadas Singh. To get rid of Sharma. To get rid of this one and that one. They're doing the same thing, bullying people to get their own way. They got the banker. They lost the election. They got the banker. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. You see, I will tell you something. I will tell you something. I am not dumb. I am not deaf. I am not dotish. I am not stupid. I represent 99% of Trinbagonians. Now the hotel industry in Tobago will tell itself, well, side against them. No, side not against you. I am not against you. If you weren't, or I will use the term, if you was not a hotel owner and a normal citizen in Trinidad, you would have feel the pinch. You would have feel the pinch. With one case of the Omicron COVID-19 variant still under investigation, it is unclear whether the more transmittable Omicron strain of the virus is a community spread. They want to control it, but they open up on one side with just a PCR test. What does that tell you? While other countries are bucking up 12 hours before you come in, 14 hours before you come in, do a test. We're still doing 72. We're still doing 72. Epidemiologist Dr. Avery Hines states that there is no evidence to suggest that a variant is now in community spread. Dr. Hines states that the potential of the spread of the Omicron variant is very high, so officials will continue to closely monitor the situation. He also encouraged the population to get vaccinated and adhere to the public health guidelines to limit the spread of the virus. Dr. Hines added that the ministry does not have evidence of established community spread, but they are monitoring it. Listen to this.
We can't yet confidently state that there is established community transmission, but we will be continuing to look out because, as we know, the potential for that particular variant to spread very quickly is very high. And that by itself is the risk that we are hoping to avoid by all of the public health measures that we keep reinforcing. So we don't yet have evidence of established community spread at this point in time, but we continue to monitor and we will continue to advise.
Caller, good night.
Hello, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, I am not getting this vaccine, and my brother-in-law and his wife took Pfizer vaccine and they died. I'm not giving this vaccine. And the vaccine is killing the people, Saeed.
Condolences to you for your loss, my friends, from Real Talk Studios. It's sad, you know. So viewers, for the next 30 minutes on our program, here's what we're going to do. If you have a family or a friend that took the vaccine and they end up with complications, feel free to call in 238-6716. Now I want to let you understand something. I went and I got vaccinated, double dose. By the grace of God, I made it through. And I highly appreciate what God has done for me thus far. But there are individuals who took the vaccine and were not successful in coming out like me. They were not. My Baba was one of them. People who supported me during the food drive were many of them. Families complicated because of the vaccine. Feel free to call in 238-6716. I want to hear if your family or friend took the vaccine and what were their complications before and after. So you have that 30 minutes to report. Now, several trade unions have stated. Just now, right? Just now, right? I just want to make sure I have the correct thing here for you. But let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago, instead of we go forward, we're going backward, you know. Take what I'm telling all you. We're going backward. Now hear this. With 65% of nurses and midwives already voluntarily vaccinated, persuasion was a better tactic than mandated. To sway an unvaccinated staff. TNT Registered Nurses Association, second vice president, Letty Cox, stated that while they are pro-vaccine, they also believe that a person's right to choose whether they accept or not should not be taken away from them. In other words, their rights should not be taken away from them. She said the PM would have discussed it with the health minister and health official, but not with other stakeholders. Cox added that nurses will be writing to the CEOs of each regional health authority to find out if they will be adopting this policy come January. She stated that if the nurses continue to refuse to be vaccinated, it means that they will significantly reduce the workforce within the healthcare system, and it is already overwhelming. So if the nurses and them plan to do this, what do you think the citizens should do? They are in the health sector. And our rights should not be, what? Violated. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I am a recovering COVID patient. After 3 weeks, I spent in the full hospital. I have the option. I took my 2 vaccines. I am recovering still. And I think vaccine is necessary. And I think the health workers is the people who are in more danger than me and you. And they say in order to get paid, they have to be vaccinated. But I will say something concerning health workers. It has who are dying like doctors and nurses. Even officers dying. Prison officers dying. You understand? And if the vaccine is possible to keep you alive, I tell everyone, take your vaccine. Thank you.
Well, that is your message. And you have your rights. Don't go against me. You have your rights. But there are also individuals who are not well. And their rights will be violated come January. Come January. Several trade unions have stated that they were shocked by the Prime Minister's announcement that government workers will have to be vaccinated to work in January, and those who refuse without medical support will not be paid. Is that the government you put in power to override your rights? Where is the human rights lawyers in Trinidad and Tobago? Where are they? Where are they? Have they gone under a rock? General Secretary Ozzy Warwick states that they refrain from their position that there should be no mandatory COVID-19 vaccination, and the union will explore every single possibility to defend the right of the workers. Let me tell you something. If Watson Duke did not resign as the PSA leader, there would have been war in Trinidad and Tobago. Take what I'm telling you. Not because you are the PM, and not because we are in a pandemic, you could just jump up just so and say, well, you know, Saeed, you have to take it whether or not you like it. And if you don't take it, you can't come to work and no pay. Really? Who are you to tell me if I could take it or not? Do you know my medical conditions? No. Do you support me? No. Do you give me anything? No. What do you want? Every 5 years? My vote. That is what you want. Call her good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Good night.
You stick, you get the click. Dr. Rowley announced that from mid-January, the government workplace would require vaccinated workers. And if they are not in a position to come to the workplace, they will be flogged. Listen to this.
The government's workplace is going to change. It is the intention of the government, come mid-January, to insist that the government's workplace would require vaccinated workers. If you are not in a position to come to the workplace, you would be on leave on your own and you would be furloughed. Meaning that you will still have a job on the establishment, but you choosing not to be able to come to work under the conditions laid down, that you will then not be paid.
That is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. That is the same bloody hell Prime Minister for Trinidad and Tobago who said to us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that I will not beg for vaccine for you. What is he saying now to you? What did he say to the petrochem workers? What did his administration say? What did he went up on a platform and say? The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not going to shut down petrochem. And if you open your fridge, close it back. We are not going to shut down petrochem. What they do? Tell me what they do. Call her good night.
Very good evening to Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
do not let anybody deter you. You continue doing the good job you're doing.
Thank you, my friend.
I would like the government to remember these. They could do their research. The listeners could do their research too. Indira Gandhi, Anwar Sadat, Jovenel Moise, Muammar Gaddafi, and there's so much other names I could call. Things happen with these people in their lifetime, and this government is playing the real fool. Imagine, and as I said the other day, we have to wean ourselves off the government. It's time the government wean themselves off the taxpayers. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, save this jog in your memory. Rowley said that this was a matter of life and death, and not who can talk louder than who, or who has more power than who. That is the same bloody hell man who said to you, I am not going to beg India for no vaccine for you. Now he wants to tell you, you have a job, but if you choose not to vaccinate it, you're not getting paid. Boy, let me tell all you something. Let me tell all you something. Trinidad and Tobago will end up in a war. I am a man, I don't incite violence. I don't do that. But you see, them kind of statement and minister coming out and refusing the rights of the citizen to choose is a serious thing. Where the hell is all the human rights lawyer? Where are they? Huh? Countries around the world could not have contained COVID-19. They did not violate the rights of the citizen. But we have a prime minister feel that he is God Almighty. That is the same man who refused to beg for vaccine for you, now coming to tell you if you don't take it, don't go to work because you won't get paid. Oh, let's talk now. When Saieed talk the truth, oh Saieed, you're bashing the Prime Minister. I love my PM. Well, love what you get now. Love what you get now. You know there's a calypso, I believe it's a calypso, they say, we like it so. That is why the opposition ain't coming out. That is why they ain't coming out and dealing with matters seriously. You know why? If Trinidad and Tobago suffer for 5 years and you're putting me in for the next 5 years, but all you like it so, me, I will come here every single night, Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. and tell all of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. And you can't come to throw wrong Saieed, you know, because Saieed is a man from Leketo. You think if I didn't know who I was, I could have been standing here? Huh? You had this man on TV saying it yourself. The man lied down in a coffin. I go call name, but everybody see it. He lied down in a coffin. Remember when he was up Cora balling, oh God, they go kill me. They want to kill me. They're this, they're that, the next. I ain't taking no vaccine. The tongue twist. The tongue twist. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, can I add a commercial? What's that coffin thing? I had friends who took the vaccine and they're in problem right now. Let me tell you something. You think the Minister of Health ain't know that? They damn well know that. They damn well know that, but the vaccine's safe. I didn't come here to pretend I like anybody, you know. I come here to set the record straight. Do not violate my rights. You see, I go tell you something. The human rights lawyers will stand up and say, well, you know you can't hang him, but the court found them guilty of murder. The court found them guilty of murder, but human rights say you can't hang them, that's taking a life. How much life that same bloody hell man take? We're talking about a murderer. How much life he take? Human rights ain't seen them life, but they seen the man who had to hang in jail. But let me tell you something. That is why they would not like me. They would not like me. But I do business. You didn't call me. God called me. God funded my program. A spirit funding it. He added that there are government employees who decided that they are not going to take part in the national program to protect the population from the virus.
The very first people that any traveler is likely to meet coming into the country is immigration. They are 25% vaccination. Fire services, 20%. These are government employees who obviously have, for some reason, decided that they are not going to take part in the national program to protect the national population from what, in effect, is a killing virus.
Did I hear that? Caller, good night. Hello? Stick your get the click. One time. We ain't here to waste time tonight. The PM stated that people are dying by the millions, and the average here is about 1 per hour in TNT. He said the government will not accept delinquency in a pandemic and will not do what is required to bring all of us out of this as best as we could. Listen to this.
People are dying by the millions. People are dying by the tens per day. Our average here is about 1 hour in Trinidad and Tobago. And if we don't intervene, the outcome is one of delinquency. A government cannot accept delinquency in a pandemic. And nobody ever said that it was going to be easy. Nobody ever said it was going to be painless. What we've always said is that we'll do what is required to be done to bring all of us out of this as best we could. And that is where we are at the moment.
I want to let you understand that is the same individual who said, I am not going to beg for vaccine. That is the same individual. I have nothing against the Prime Minister, you know. Absolutely nothing against him. But you see the decision you're making to remove the rights of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to choose. Let me tell you something. That is a different thread you're treading on. That is not blue thread, you know, that is black thread. So again, I'm asking, where's the human rights lawyers for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Where are the top attorneys? Where are the QCs? Where are human rights for the Caribbean? Oh, Saeed, is a pandemic. So what the hell? Because of the pandemic, he taking away my rights? If I take that vaccine and end up like my baba, what the hell I getting from them? But by the grace of God, I came through successful. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Saeed, you see this thing we're doing with government, okay? I am a government worker. And I'm saying to you, Mr. Saeed, you see Mr. Rodney forcing people not to take this vaccine, taking away your right from doing what you want. It is totally wrong. Because anytime you give up and you decide to allow them to do what you want and you take this vaccine, you know what's going to happen? They're going to make it mandatory. They will come in your house. They will come at the children. They will, listen, when you give up your rights, there's nothing you can do to get it back. Absolutely nothing you can do to get back the rights when you give it up. And if it is going to lose my job to keep my life, I'm willing to lose my life and take another.
Thank you, my friend. Meanwhile, Joint Trade Union Movement, JTUM President Ansel Roger said the leader of the trade union will be meeting outside the Prime Minister's office at Whitehall on Wednesday at 10 a.m. to protest what he calls the government's high-hand approach towards vaccination of public servants. Hey, let me tell you something. It's a different story, you know. We understand throughout the world they are dealing with COVID-19 in the pandemic situation all across the world. But thus far, no countries have demanded their citizens to take the vaccine. None. Beside ours, our Prime Minister, they call him the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley. But the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley once said in a press briefing that I am not going to beg for the vaccine. I'll talk to me now, man. I'll talk to me. Minister of Health Terence Diazing have stated that some of them might just want to leave this man sleeping and hearing things, you know. Minister of Health Terence Diazing have stated that the silent majority of persons in TNT fully support government decision that public sector workers who choose not to be vaccinated against COVID-19 for non-medical reasons should be flogged, granted leave of absence. Terence, let me tell you something here, gray-haired old man. Who is the silent majority in Trinidad? Who is the silent majority in Trinidad? You refuse to bring the Davis Home report to the public, but you talking about silent? You're the same man who said you were willing to pass the information to the Ministry of National Security with the first Omicron variant last week, Monday, but the Tuesday when questioned in Parliament, you don't know who it is? So who the hell is the silent majority of persons in Trinidad? I want to know. I want to know who is the silent majority. Diazing supported the PM announcement and observed that many other countries around the world have taken similar measures to reduce the spread of COVID-19. None of them never demanded or made it mandatory for their citizens to take the vaccine. You will support the Prime Minister, yet, but be careful of your statements. Be careful of your statements. All if you like afraid, all because all is some minister and what all say goes, no, brother man. No. All you have the authorization to enter into the treasury and take us all you want. That is the only authorization all you have. The PM lives in Tobago and his own people didn't wanted him. His own people. His constituency. But they don't want to hear the man. Same thing with Terence. And all I want to come up now, oh, you know, I say minister, and what I say goes. Let me tell you something. You see a cock and bull mentality, you better change it. You better change it, because I'm going to tell you something. God is not dead. I want you to understand that. Everything Saieed asked for, right here on his platform, I got it passed. And if I go, if I go in my little room and I light my light and I say, Lord, Terence is a threat to Trinidad and Tobago citizens. He is forcing us to do something that we are not going to do. Just like Pharaoh did. You want to follow Pharaoh? You want to follow Pharaoh? Hear this, eh? He advised that there is an expansion of a voluntary program to have all public sector workers vaccinated. Listen to this.
The government has launched no mandatory vaccine program. There is no mandate to be vaccinated. Persons make a choice. It applies to anyone on the public payroll, in the public service, or a statutory agency. So at this point in time, it does not apply to private security workers, but I'm glad you raised it. So right now, it's an expansion of a voluntary program to make, to have all public sector workers, whether you are on the establishment, a contract worker, or you work in a statutory body, that is a body formed out of law or statute, like a UDICOT, like a NITCO.
Now viewers, I have a pullback for you. Hold on, you hear what I'm saying? You hear what I say? They're not making it mandatory. But the Prime Minister said, if you ain't take the vaccine, you cannot come to work and you ain't getting no money. Hold on. You have it? Boss it.
The government's workplace is going to change. It is the intention of the government, come mid-January, to insist that the government's workplace would require vaccinated workers. If you are not in a position to come to the workplace, you would be on leave on your own and you would be furloughed. Meaning that you will still have a job on the establishment, but you choosing not to be able to come to work under the conditions laid down, that you will then not be paid.
So all I hear that? All I hear that? Oh, let me use proper language. Did you all heard what I have just played on national television for you? For your ear? For your knowledge? That's what I tell you, the cock and bull Mickey Mouse thing they're on. I'm not on that. We're talking about people's lives. Now listen this. The other thing further added, that it is a life-saving mechanism and there is a silent majority that does not raise their voice but are engaged or in agreement with mandatory vaccination. Listen this.
This is basically a life-saving mechanism. It is not meant to punish anyone because we can't go on reporting 30 deaths a day. Very often there is something called a silent majority that does not raise their voices but are in agreement with this. And very often the best voice to listen to is not necessarily the loudest.
All you hear that? All you hear that? Terrance's own constituency, he can't see about it. If your own constituency is going against you, what the hell do you expect from an outside constituency to listen to you? No. And that is an example. You live by example. And if your area don't want to hear about you because you're not seen about them, you expect Saieed, who living in Central, to listen to you? You now telling me that you are making it mandatory, but the Prime Minister telling me if you ain't take the vaccine, you have your job or you ain't getting paid. Who the hell managed my family? Who paid my rent? Who paid my loan? Who put grocery at my house? Who managed my wife when I get sick? Terrence, you. Boy, let me tell all you something. All you better eat egg raw, you know. Take why telling all you. You all are not going to violate the rights of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You all did it with the SOE. You all did it with the SOE. But you see this kind of nonsense you're coming with? Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to understand something. I am not no anti-vax person. I am not against you taking the vaccine. I am not with you. If you take the vaccine or not take the vaccine, you have a right. I am not going to violate your rights. Where is the law association in Trinidad and Tobago? Where are they? Where is the magistrate? Where is the top-notch lawyers? Where is the human rights? Where are they? Where are they? Let me tell you something. We're heading down a slope. We are heading down a slope that if you do not stand for your rights, you will be a victim of abuse. Why do I use the term a victim of abuse? Because our Prime Minister is threatening our freedom. He is threatening our rights. By what? If you don't take the vaccine, don't come to work. And he tell petroleum workers the same thing. What happened? You will get your money, but you may not have a job. Boom, shut. Espinay said, all going home. All going home. You think that business? You think that business? Let me tell you something. I don't need nobody funding to run my program. Nobody. That is why you cannot tell me, well, Saeed, you know, me and John know his partner, and over talking. Come and take back your 10,000 that you pay for ad and go through my front door. You see, not many would like me. Not many. Because as long as you are a part of the problem, you cannot be a part of the solution. I got vaccinated. I won't hesitate to say I got vaccinated. My barber was unfortunate. He can't stand on his left leg. I could, but not him. So who is standing for him? Who is standing for him? Who? Caller, good night. Hello?
Thanks, Saeed.
You're live. Go right ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity again. Saeed, if a big percentage of the public servants, that include the protective services, if all these people decide, so that is the case, Mr. Rowley, and they refuse to go to work, you know this country shut down in 3 minutes? In 3 minutes, the entire country comes to a halt. And one more thing, if open fire cremation was a problem, don't you think World Health Organization would have stopped India from cremating people?
Thank you very much.
So what is the difference between and forcing people to take, I am fully vaccinated and I am against forcing people. That is equivalent to rape, all the rest.
You see, I will tell you something. There are many citizens in Trinidad and Tobago who took the vaccine and end up with complications. You see, the Minister of Health would know, or let me phrase it. The complete Ministry of Health would know who have complications or not. But you know what? They would refuse to come out and tell the public the truth. But you see me? You see, they're dependent on the treasury to pay them. I am not dependent on no treasury to pay me. I have to pay the treasury so they would get paid. Allah, come now, man. Talk to me now, man. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. If they may hear no other voice, they go hear mine, you know. They go hear mine. I ain't afraid, you know. I ain't afraid. I set an example to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. When they come wrong me or my family, I set an example. 3 blind, 1 dead when they come after my son. You all want next example? Not a problem. Not a problem. But I will tell you something. God chose leaders. Just like in the days of Pharaoh. God chose Pharaoh to run Egypt. Let me draw a little illustration for you. If we're not, what's this man's name again who sold out Jesus? What's his name again? I forgot his name, man. I can't remember his name. Oh God, he named it the tip of my tongue, but I forget it. Judas. If Judas did not, watch how God's plan is so creative and so established. If Judas did not accept the 30 pieces of silver, Jesus Christ would have never came into existence. Because if Judas didn't accept that money, the soldiers would have never held Jesus. And according to the Christian philosophy, they would have never crucified him. So watch me. Judas come into a play. The soldier come into a play. And Jesus was crucified according to the Christian philosophy. So viewers, we're out of time for tonight. But nevertheless, Real Talk with Saieed Ali will be live on Thursday the 22nd of December for another show. So until we meet again, good night.